Hello, welcome dear students. I'm Professor Shraddha K from the KK Wagh Arts, Commerce Science and Computer Science College, Kakasaheb Nagar, Rangpur. Today we are going to study the SMACO simulator program in practicals. How we can do the SMACO simulator through the practicals using C program. So let's start this SMACO simulator introduction first. What is a SMACO simulator? SMACO or your simple computer, that is a simple instruction computer, which is known as a SMACO. It is a hypothetical machine with the small but effective instruction sets and that can be used to illustrate the design of a simple software processor involved in developing the programs such as assembler, microprocessor, and etc. Basically, the machine will incorporate the most commonly encountered hardware features and its concepts while avoiding the irrelevant complexities. A simulator program is required that simulates the functions of your simple instruction computer, such as fetching the instruction, decoding it, and executing it. So basically, SMACO simulator is a simple hypothetical machine that will execute your simulator or your assembly code, and it will decode that and it will execute or run that program. So let's start with the introduction of your simulator. Basically, your simulator has some functions or your features, just like memory. The memory of your SMACO simulator consists of 6-digit words in a decimal format, and the total memory size is up to 1000 words. That is indicated by the addresses of size 3 digits. That is, your addresses will range only from 000 or simply 0 to 999. So you will have only 1000 memory locations to save your program. Then comes the registers. So the registers are of six types of registers, out of which the four will be general purpose registers, that is A register, B register, C register, and D register, and that will be numbered as a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, then comes a program counter, that is your PC. It will be storing the address of your next instruction that is to be fetched and the status register during the condition codes that will be storing your condition codes. Then the condition codes are of six types. It starts from less than equal to, greater than equal to, and any, and that numbered from 0 to 5. So the each bit in the status register can be set to 1 if any of this condition code is set. If not, then it will be set it to 0. So data format is what? Data format is, it will support only a 6-digit integer data that will be stored in your decimal form. Okay. Now comes the instruction set. So how the instructions are to be written in the simulator. So basically, a simulator has a single instruction format. There are total 6-digit length. Each instruction will have a 6-digit length. The first of all opcode, then your register operand and your memory operand, and they will occupy 2, 1, and 3 digits respectively. How? Let's see. The signature is, or your sign is, an optional part. Then the opcode, that is your instruction set or your instruction, that will have a 2 digits. Register or condition code, it will have a 1 digit representation, and the memory operand will be represented in 3 digits. As we know that our memory is of represented in 3 digits. Your address size is represented in 3 digits. So therefore the memory operand will be represented in 3-digit format. Now the next is your condition codes. It will be specify your rational operations or your relational operations used to check your conditions. The basically condition codes are of like this. The mnemonics are less than equal to, greater than equal to, and any. This will have the code start from 1 to 6, or you can have from 0 to 6, 0 to 5. And the meaning is less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, greater than, equal to, and unconditional transfer is used for any. Now let's see, there is a group of commands that your processor will understand in terms of the opcodes. So what are the mnemonics? These are the instruction sets, and it will have the opcodes, that is the codes, and that code are represented in 2G format. So what are the different mnemonics? Stop. Stop is for the terminating your execution. Add is for adding the contents of register to memory. Same is subtract. It will subtract your contents from address to your register. Then multiplication, it will multiply both operands. Move R. Move R is art. It will assign your contents of memory location to your registers. Move M is to assign the contents of registers to the memory in reverse operation. Compare is for to comparing both the instruction set or your condition codes and the operands. BC is for branch on condition. Div is for divide the first operand by your second operand, just like your multiplication, subtraction, and addition. Then read instruction. Read is for to read the standard inputs, or to read the number from your standard inputs. And print will print your output on your standard output device. So these are the different 10 mnemonics or 11 mnemonics, and it will have the opcodes that you have to use in your instruction set. Now let's see some questions that are depending on your simulator. There are the questions in your lab book for your practical. So first question is what? What is the size of your memory in the hypothetical in simple instruction computer? This is your SMACO, and how the memory will be represented in your simulator program. So how that we have seen earlier, the memory consists of 6-digit words like decimal, and the size of your memory is up to 1000 words. That is, it will indicate it in the address size of 3 digits. So the address range starts from 0000 to 99. So this is how your memory locations will be represented in your SMACO. Next, how many registers are there in your SMACO, and how the registers are represented in your simulator program. So there are total 6 registers, out of which the 4 are general purpose registers, that is A, B, C and D register, and that will be numbered as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how they will be represented in your SMACO with this codes, register operand, right? And if you have to represent the registers in your SMACO program, we will see in the program, we will create an array of an integers that will have their numbers like 1, 2, 3 and 4. It will have the values like 1, 2, 3 and 4. So whatever register we have used, we will set it as a 0, or set it as a 1, and another will be 0. So next question is, from the contents of your memory at the PC, that is your program counter, how will you separate out the opcodes, register operands and your memory operands? Now for execution of your program, the instruction will be given to you, and you will have to separate it out into 3 different parts. That is, first opcode, then register operand and your memory operand. So how you will do this? Let's see. So by using the following instructions, we can separate it out our 3 operands. First of all, we will take whatever program counter we have in your memory, we will divide it by the 10,000, right? So by this 10,000, we will get first your opcode. First of all, we will get our opcode. Then afterwards, whatever remaining in the memory of the PC, we will mod by it by 10,000, and again we will divide it by 1000 and minus 1. So that will be getting the opcode 1. And then by again dividing mod by 1000, we will get the opcode 2, that is your memory operand. So this is how we can separate it out in the 3 different parts. Now let's see our program, how we can write the simulator program. So first of all, in your Ubuntu, you will have to look for the terminal, right? So go to terminal, type your command as a gedit, your simulator program, whatever name you want to give it to you, the simulator and .c. We are writing the program in our C programming. So gedit program name .c and enter it. After entering, you will be in your text editor and where you have to write your code. So now we are in a text editor. We have already our Smacko simulator program. Now let's see how we have defined the simulator or how we have created the simulator. First of all, we have included some standard libraries that will be required. Then we will have some global declarations like your memories of up to 100 words. Then your 4 registers. Then your condition codes, that are the 6 condition codes. We have set it all to zeros and only any condition that is unconditional that is set to 1. Then it is for opcode, operand 1 and operand 2 and your program counter. And this is the file pointer. We have created one file pointer to open your file. We have to save our machine code in some separate file and we have to open that file in the simulator, and then by instruction we have to read that machine code and we will execute it, decode it and execute it. So for that we will have to load one file, then again we have to print that file, then we have to execute that file, and then we will get the output whatever written in that Smacko program. Okay, so we will create one ASM file. We will create some .x file. .x file will contain your machine code. Okay, so first of all, for that we have created one file instruction or your file pointer, and the f name is for file name. We have created one array for the file name. So we have divided this program into 3 different instructions or in 3 different functions. First of all, load the file, then print that file, and then execute that file. That is, we have to run that file. After running, that is after decoding that file, we have to get the output of that file. So first we will see the load function. What is a load function? In that load function, we have to load that file, whatever file .x file we have created, which will save our machine code. So in the load function, what we have done, we have printed enter your file name. So user will enter the file name. We have scanned that file name. We will open it in a read mode. If your file pointer is not found, then we will exit from the function. And if your file pointer is found, that is your file is present in the memory, then we will scan it one by one or instruction by instruction, and we will save it into a memory array. Memory and PC is what? Your program counter. So one by one, line by line, we will save that file in our memory array. And again, program counter will be plus plus. So while up to our file doesn't ends, or it is not up to -1, then we will read that file content. Okay, and then finally close that file content. Afterwards, after loading, we will print that file. So for printing purpose, we have the function like void print. We have taken one counter, that is integer I is from 0 up to the program counter, that is your PC, and I++. We will print the contents from the memory array that we have earlier saved or loaded the contents of your file into a memory. So this is how we can have the load and print functions. After loading and printing your file, we will now execute it one by one. So we first of all we have to separate it out. The whole instruction we have to separate it out into 3 different parts. That is your opcode, operand 1 and operand 2. So we will take the PC from 0, that is from first instruction we will start, and while it is true we will separate it out into opcode, operand 1 and operand 2. So by these instructions, as I have mentioned in the question answer session, that you will separate it out each and every instruction into three different parts: opcode, operand 1 and operand 2. Now we will have to take the operand, whatever opcode you have get. So by using the opcodes you will have to work as like, so whatever opcode is there, in that way you will have to perform the actions. So if your opcode is 0, then we will stop the execution. If your opcode is 1, that is your addition, so you will have to add the contents of your memory to your register. If you have the opcode that is 2, then you will subtract the contents of the memory from the register operand. If it is 3, then you will have to multiply both the operands. If it is 4, then you will divide both the operands. If it is 5, then you will move the contents of memory to the register. Move R, that is, move the contents from memory to register. Then if the opcode is your 6, then move the contents of your register to memory, that is, move M. If your opcode is 7, that is, you have to compare both the operands. Then for comparison we will have less than equal to, greater than, and greater than equal to conditions. And depending on these conditions of both the operands, we will set the condition code to 1. That is less than, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this way your condition codes are there, and for each instruction, whatever instruction is there, we will set it to 1. Else we have set already the whatever any condition or the last condition, that is any is the unconditional, we have already set it as a 1. Then if your condition code or your opcode is 8, then branch on condition. Now you have to shift your whatever execution, then you have to shift it to a different location. So if your condition code is set, okay, so condition code and op1, so operand 1, whatever specified instruction is there in your operand 1, so that condition code is set. If it is set, then you will move your program counter to operand 2 minus 1 location, right? And if this is done, then you will set all condition codes to 0 afterwards. So this way you can move to another location or branch on condition. Then if the opcode is 9, then you will have to read the instruction, that is, you will have to read the some value from user. So we will read one digit and we will save it into a memory of op2. op2 is what your memory operand, so you will save it into a your memory operand. In the same way, if your opcode is 10, that is, you have to print the function, print the standard output. So we'll have the print instruction, and each and every time after this execution we will again increment the program counter, that is next instruction. Then whole thing will be again checked. Whatever instruction is given in your opcode, that will be executed as per the execution, the process will be followed, and again your program counter will be incremented. So this way your whole program counters are being executed, that is, your all instructions will be executed, and afterwards we will come out of this loop or come out of this. So in main function, what we have seen, we have taken one choice from the user, we have printed one menu, that is, first of all, load, print, run and exit. So user will enter his choice, and depending on the choice we will execute the functions. So if it is 1, then we will call the load function. If it is 2, then we will call the print function. For 3 we will execute or run the program, and for 4 we will exit from the program. Return 0 is for integer main, so return 0. And finally our simulator programs end here. Okay, so this is how we have created our simulator. We have created 3 different functions: load, print and run, and finally all we have called it into a main function. So let's see what will be the output of this function or the whole simulator. Yes, this is the file that we have created for sum.x. Sum.x is your machine code in which you have written the machine code for addition of two different numbers, right? So addition of two different numbers will have this machine code, and we have written it into a sum.x file, and we will load this file into your simulator. So this will be the input for your simulator. So let's see how we can run it. So for running, we will first compile it by using gcc simulator.c -o and simulator. Then execute. To execute the program, we will put the command at // and simulator. That is your object file name. So this will print the menu like load, print, run, and exit. If you have entered one choice, that is first to load the program, so you have to enter the file name, that is input file name. So you have entered the input file name, so it will load the contents of your sum into your memory. Then second choice, for second choice it will ask for you. Now for the second choice, if you have printed 2, that is print, so it will print your sum.x file, right? Total whatever you have written in your sum.x file, that will be printed here. To execute the program, that is 3, it will ask the inputs. First you will enter 1, then 2, then your output will be shown here. So 1, 2, and here there is output, and again it will load the menu, and finally exit condition, that is if you have to exit from this thing, then you will put the choice as it is 4, and it will be exited from your. So this is what your Smacko simulator program using C program. So you have seen what is a Smacko simulator, how to write the code, how to execute it, how to save it, run it, and get the output. So try it by yourself and get your output. Thank you.